Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. This is going to be my February TBR. If you've watched my last few videos, you know that I've been wearing the same shirt for all of them. Don't judge. But if you do not know the rules or anything like that, I will leave my January TBR where I go through the rules. Basically, I do 8 Jenga pieces picks and pick a book for each of those prompts. And last month I read everything on my Jenga TBR. The only book on my TBR that I haven't read as of the 27th is We Set the Dark on Fire, and that one technically wasn't a part of my TBR prompts, so that one doesn't really matter. There'll be a clip of me picking the Jenga piece, and then I'm going to say what book I picked for that, and these are going to be very, very basic descriptions, basically what I know, because I like to go into books knowing nothing really. I also have a reading, a year-long reading challenge that I have a book for that is on this, as well as I do TBR Knockout, which is a thing that Melanie from Completely Melanie created, that I will leave the video linked down below. I will say the prompts, I will mention that at the end, but let's just get started. So here are the Jenga pieces. I hope you can hear me. My fan's on because my room is super hot, but here are the, here's the Jenga tower. I'm going to pick the 8 pieces like I always do, and so let's start with pick number 1. The tower is already super jiggly. I almost knocked it over already once just doing stuff, but pick number 1 is a number generator. So I'm going to go online and just search random number generator, find out how many books are on my TBR, and random number generator, and if it's the second or third in the series, I'll read the first in the series. If it's not released, I will pick the one. I'll just re-pick a number until I get one that's either the first in the series, a second in the series, or just a series that's released type thing, or will be released in the month of February. So for random number generator, I can't remember what number I got. I thought I wrote it down somewhere. It turns out I didn't. But that corresponded with Cinderella is Dead by Kaylnn Bayron, which I think was number 92, I think, and that's what it picked. Cinderella is Dead takes place 200 years after the story of Cinderella, where now it is mandatory that every year there's a ball placed for teenagers where you are meant to find your one true love, your soulmate essentially, and our main character, Sophia, I think it's something like that, but our main character doesn't want anything to do with that. She would rather run away with her best friend, and so she does that, and that's all I know. That is all I want to know. I've heard great things, so I'm excited to be reading this, and it's also a standalone, which is great because I don't want to have a million series started by the end of the year like I did last year. Pick number 2. This one. Newest purchase means the newest book that I've bought. I'm saying or been gifted. Bought or been gifted, basically. For newest purchase, this one I'm kind of bending the rules a bit. My technical newest purchase is Ruin and Rising, but it hasn't come in the mail yet. It is currently shipped to me in the mail, but it was purchased before this video, before I picked the prompts. I purchased it on the 21st or 22nd, and my picking Jenga pieces clip was filmed the 23rd. So my most recent purchase is Ruin and Rising. But unfortunately that means that I cannot have any other prompts being rereads, because I'm allowing 1 prompt per TBR game to be rereads. So Ruin and Rising is the 3rd book in the Shadow and Bone series. I actually have Shadow and Bone in my drawer here because I'm currently reading it, so I'm going to pull it up. But Shadow and Bone, we follow Alina Starkov, who is a map maker for the First Army And when she discovers that she has powers, she has to essentially travel to a school to travel to the Little Palace, which is essentially kind of almost like a place where people with magic live, to train, and we go from there. And I literally just filmed an entire video talking about the TV show news about this. So yeah, Rune and Rising is the third and final book in this series. I own the first one, obviously I'm holding it, and then the second one, and I just needed to get the third one, which is currently in the mail, and that is going to be probably my first physical read of February, because I want to just not read a book in between the series, just read this series as a whole. So I'm really hoping it comes in the mail before February, but I'm not sure. Pick number 3. Yeah, I was like, is it already leaning this way? Yeah, it is. Maybe one of these ones will come out. A black cover, so a book that has like a majority black cover. For black cover, we have These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and all I know is this is a kind of like Romeo and Juliet inspired book, where we are in 1926 Shanghai, and there's like these two gangs, and Juliet is from one gang and Roma is from another, and that's kind of how it's that like Romeo and Juliet thing. And I've heard great things about this, so and it is Chloe Gong's debut novel, and there has just been news that there is a sequel called These Violent Ends, I think is what it's called, which comes out in November, so might as well read it now. I'll remember it by then. If not, I'll reread it before then if I love it. Pick number 4. One of these ones in the back. That one wants to... Oh, no. I do not like how jiggly that top is already. A contemporary. So, a book that is in the contemporary genre. Next, for contemporary, we have Fight for Her by Liz Plum, and this doesn't come out until March 9th, I believe, but I have a e-arc through NetGalley, and a little bit of backstory with Fight for Her. I read this as a Wattpad story 2.5 years ago and loved it. And then the news that it was being published, I think I cried, because it is one of my favorite Wattpad stories. We follow a girl named Scarlett, who is the daughter of a multi-millionaire who owns a auto repair company, and she's the girlfriend to the school's like quarterback and has the perfect life. But when her brother dies, that kind of sends her on a like trip when she acts, and then she eventually stumbles into like the resident bad boy named Elijah, who really isn't a bad boy. He just has his own problems, and she realizes these, and it's the story of Scarlett and Elijah's friendship turned into a relationship. And I just love this because there's dark secrets being kept, and like there's like skeletons in the closet, but not actual skeletons in the closet. But yeah. Pick number 5. So far this is actually going kind of good. I say as I'm taking one from the bottom row. A already read author, so a book by an author that I've already read one of their books. So whether it could be like a continuous series, start a new series by the author, just an author that I've already read a book from. Next we have, for already read author, we have The Heir by Frost K. And this one, it says it's being published in February, but I'm not 100% sure. So for The Heir is the third book in the Twisted Kingdom series by Frost K, the first book being The Hunt. And The Hunt, we follow essentially a female assassin named Tempest, who, as she officially becomes an assassin for the king, she is then sent on a mission to find the Jester, who is essentially meant to be a evil person causing illnesses in small cities. But when Tempest goes and to find the Jester, she realizes that this is not true, and she meets people, and the plot goes from there. The second book is The Rook, and I love that. And the end of The Rook left me shocked because I want to say it. There might be mild spoilers for The Rook for the next, 30 seconds. But at the end, Tempest agrees to marry the king, and then we find out that her other love interest is actually the bastard son of the king. So there's that. And I'm like, is she gonna know that? Is she gonna know this, find this out? Is she actually gonna marry the king? What is gonna happen? This world is full of magic and creatures, and just, there's a dragon in the second book. I hope it's in the third book. I love dragons. Give me a book with dragons, and I'll be happy, honestly. Pick number 6. I lost count there for a second. That one's easy. 21 books to read in 2021. I have to pick a book off of my list, which is a video that I made at the end of December, which I'll leave linked below. But basically a book that fits this, that's on this list, which is 21 books that I've read in 2021, that I want to read in 2021. So, for 21 books to read in 2021, so this, as I already kind of explained, I have a list of 21 books / series that I want to read in 2021, and for this I picked The Shadow Between Us by Tricia Levenseller, and all I know is that we follow a girl who marries a king, and she's meant to, her goal is to kill the king, but she ends up falling in love with the king. That's all I know. All I know, and it is a standalone, and that's literally all I know. That is all I want to know. Pick number 7. We're getting close to the end, and the tower hasn't fallen, but I'm probably going to jinx myself in saying that. Ooh, TBR 2019. So this means that it has to be a book that I've added to my Goodreads shelf in the year 2019. I kept it 2019 instead of updating it to 2020 because there are so many books from 2019 when I first started my Goodreads that I really want to read. Next we have TBR 2019, and for this I'm choosing The Dark Prophecy by Riordan. This is the second book in the Trials of Apollo series. The Trials of Apollo series follows the god Apollo, who has been turned human and now must kind of almost regain regain graces in Zeus's, for Zeus, because Zeus is who turned him human. And the first book being The Hidden Oracle, I just finished a couple days ago, and I liked it, so I'm excited to read The Dark Prophecy. My goal is to have all of the Riordan verse, mythology books completed this year. So I'm trying to do one a month. So I read The Hidden Oracle in January, The Dark Prophecy in February, and then I'll probably just continue the series as the months go on. And the final, pick number 8. This one seems like it was about to come out really easy. And that is an arc, which is perfect because I have a bunch of arcs that get released either in February or March that I need to catch up on. Next, for an arc. I chose An Heir Comes to Rise by C.C. Peñaranda. That's how I'm going at. C.C. Peñaranda. Okay, and this I'm going to read the description on Goodreads because it sounds so good. I'm only going to read the first two parts. There's like 3 parts to the thing. I'm gonna read the first 2 just to leave a little mystery. So, a sword. In the impoverished outer town of a kingdom where fae outrank humans, Faith, an orphan with a talent for swordplay, knows the importance of keeping her head down around the fae patrol. She and her best friend, Jacqueline, long for a better life, and her desire to swing her sword in combat may bring the purpose and coin she yearned for. A dream. When she draws the attention of a royal guard knight, she soon learns that her mortal nature isn't the only reason to remain out of sight. Nike is a night walker, a silent assassin in the mind, a silent assassin of the mind with the power to enter others' dreams, and whether she trusts him or not, he is about to awaken abilities and faith that shouldn't exist in a human. Nightmarish abilities, deadly abilities that will teach Faith blood really does run thicker than water. And if she doesn't trust a higher power soon, blood will indeed ruin her. And this is for fans of Throne of Glass and Red Queen, which are series that I love. And this is a yes, this is a debut. This is a debut. And I'm excited. I have an arc of this. This doesn't come out till the 25th. I thought it came out the 23rd. Oh shit, I just posted a video where I said it was the 23rd. Oopsies! I was told the 23rd. I was told the 23rd in the ARC email that I got. Oopsies. Oops. So now on to the TBR knockout prompts. The prompts for February are kind of like love or lust. So love or lust, read a book that has a romance in it. I'm going Fight for Her by Liz Plum. And then read a book with red or pink on the cover or spine, and I'm reading Slay by Britteny Morris, which is the, for the Avengers, readathon, like, challenge, like, book, like, group book, and Slay is about a girl who creates this, like, app for, like, black teens like herself, and that's all I know. That's all I know, but I'm reading it because it fits that prompt and it's the group book, and I want to try to read all the group books for the Avengers like readathon. So those are the books that I'm planning on reading. Let's see if I actually do this, because other books I'd like to read are Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, or Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, Fragile Remedy by Maria Ingard Mora, Cross Spaces by multiple authors. It's kind of like an anthology. And Shadow Rule by Angela J. Stafford. Those are all books that I want to read in February, and that's 15 books in 28 days. And then there's also the, I believe there's also going to be a round of Tome Topple, which is a readathon where you read books over 500 pages, so we might be adding some chunky books to my TBR, so I have a feeling I'm not going to get all my TBR done for February because I'm going to steer far to the left from it, but we'll just have to see. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye!